Dr. Naismith, how did you happen to invent basketball? It was in the winter of 1891, when I was physical instructor at Springfield College in Massachusetts. We had a real New England blizzard. For days, the students couldn't go outdoors. One day, I had an idea. I called the boys to the gym, divided them up into teams of 9, and gave them an old soccer ball. I showed them 2 peach baskets I'd nailed up at each end of the gym. I told them the idea was to throw the ball into the opposing team's peach basket. I blew a whistle, and the first game of basketball began.
And what rules did you have for your new game, Dr. Naismith?
Well, I didn't have enough, and that's where I made my big mistake. The boys began tackling, kicking and punching in the clinches. They ended up in a free-for-all in the middle of the gym floor. Before I could pull them apart, one boy was knocked out, several of them had black eyes, and one had a dislocated shoulder. It certainly was murder. 10 years later, basketball was being played all over the country.
That they needed to cut the bottom of the peach basket out. Every time they scored, they had to use a ladder to get the ball again. I'm not trying to start anything, but I think a gymnast might have just taken 10 minutes to figure that one out.
Yeah. Well, gymnasts have to figure a lot of things out very quickly on the fly.
This is true. This is true.
Fast,
yeah.
right? Yes. You know, but speaking of that, another piece of history connected to Dr. Naismith. Some people here may be familiar with the name Dr. John McClendon. And Dr. John McClendon happened to be a student who enrolled at the University of Kansas, where Dr. Naismith was, got mentored by Dr. Naismith. And before he enrolled as a student, Dr. John McClendon did not make the basketball team, loved playing basketball, didn't make the basketball team, but he became one of the prominent African-American coaches in history because he was one of the first coaches to coach at an all-white school and went on to coach teams that played against white teams back in that era where they weren't allowed to play against each other. So he had underground games against white teams, and he was known, and his legacy was that he was actually known to be the creator of fast-paced basketball.
Did you know that?
So Dr. John McClendon, so speaking of, you see the pace of the game today where you can attribute Dr. John McClendon, a mentor, a mentee of Dr. James Naismith. It's an incredible story. And by the way, when he did not make the basketball team in high school, he became the manager, but he lettered in, guess what sport? Gymnastics.
See, there is a gymnastics basketball connection. That's nice. Okay. All right. Well, it is time to begin our award presentation. First of all, we have the Bobby Jones Award. Now, even though Bobby Jones is a local legend from Charlotte, and many of you know him, let's take a look at what some of his other friends had to say about him when he received the Coach Wooden Key to Life Award.